Unlike Harley, who was transformed by her love interest, the Joker, Tenny's transformation had begun much earlier. Her father had played a significant role in shaping her into the person she was today, instilling in her a sense of ferocity and unpredictability that seemed to simmer just below the surface. As she gazed at her reflection, Tenny's thoughts seemed to drift back to Obalola, the man who had fallen in love with her despite the dangers involved in being with her. They couldn't openly boast of their love yet, but he had no clue about the dangers that lurked within her. In the whispers of her earliest memories, there was never a moment untouched by her father's guiding hand, a hand that had sculpted her existence into a silhouette of danger and prowess. From the first breath she drew, the die was cast. She was destined to be a prodigy in a world where danger coursed through their veins like an ancestral legacy. A small, enigmatic smile played on her lips as she thought about the past, about the little girl she used to be, calling out to Obalola from the back seat of her father's car. Her father's stern face scolded her to sit back, his voice firm but controlled as they drove off into the distance. Her father had crafted her upbringing with meticulous precision. Every lesson, every whisper of wisdom was an artfully woven thread in the tapestry of her education. Her birth wasn't a normal one. While other children were cradled in lullabies and bedtime stories, she was schooled in the language of combat, survival, deceit, and pretense, with the mandate to never reveal her true personality to anyone. Hence, the extra protection is safeguarded her with. Her father's guidance had been a double-edged sword, shaping her into a being of calculated ferocity and danger, camouflaged in innocence and powerlessness. He was a maestro of manipulation and subterfuge who had instilled within her the tenets of power and control from a young age. He had cultivated an unyielding resolve in her, teaching her to navigate the intricate webs of deception and preparing her for the game of power that awaited beyond the sheltered confines of their domain. The lessons had been carefully crafted, a symphony of strategy and cunning. As part of her education, her father had encouraged her to study law, an additional edge that would serve her well in the complex world of power and politics. He had taught her the intricacies of politics and everything she needed to learn around it, the knowledge that had been imparted with precision, each lesson building upon the last, as she was groomed to take her place in the world of influence and power. The years had unfolded and she had become a reflection of her father's aspirations, while her innocence had been eclipsed by a father to daughter abominable romance they had kept secret, and a facade of steely composure, a mask veiling the tumultuous whirlwind of emotions brewing within. Beneath the veneer lay a conflict, an eternal struggle between the daughter yearning for normalcy and the heir apparent groomed for the treacherous throne of their legacy. Yet, woven in the fabric of her upbringing, amidst the shadows and the training, there lingered a flicker of rebellion, a spark ignited by the faint whisper of freedom. Her father had planned a union for her with a world-class business mogul, Femi Osawe, a plan that was still in motion and all part of the strategy to dive into a larger world of influence. He would plan his death not long after she was willed into all his properties. She had hopelessly delayed the plan while she savored a little fragment of her hopeless love with Obalola Akonde. The love she had shared with Obalola had been a brief respite, a moment of normalcy in a world that was far from it. But it was a memory she would hold on to, a reminder of the humanity that lay beneath the surface of the persona her father had created. As she sat in her luxurious mansion, strategically positioned next to Femi Osawe's, Tiny's thoughts drifted to a life beyond the confines of her father's design. She longed for a life where choices were her own, not dictated by the legacy she was born into. A life of normalcy, goodness, and harmless love seemed like a distant dream, one that she could only imagine but never truly attain. In the symphony of her existence, she sought to carve a melody of her own, a melody that echoed not the dangerous legacy bestowed upon her, but the quiet symphony of liberation. When she told Obalola she didn't ask for this life, before they were attacked on their way back from the mall, as painful as it was, she knew he would never understand the extent of those words and how loaded they were with dirt, abominable secrets, and so much darkness. However, the realization of losing her father, the one person she had always relied on, overwhelmed her. His existence had become an inseparable part of her, and she had always doubted whether she would be able to exist without him by her side. Now, that sense of security had been erased by Obalola, who once stood as a symbol of love and affection. The love they shared now seemed like a distant memory, a reminder of the pain and hurt she had endured. The betrayal had changed her, transforming her into a person with nothing to lose. The laughter that echoed from her lips was a wicked and hateful sound, reflecting the darkness that had consumed her soul, enough to send shivers down the spine of anyone who heard it.